Hulk is a bitch.
Man, okay, no.
I mean, if you got your ass kicked like you did at the beginning,
no, I'm not.
He got punched in the throat. Oh, no.
You're lucky over at dtmerch.com. Well, you're lucky, first of all, because we have all this wonderful merchandise over here. Shirts, caps, jerseys, backpacks, phone covers. Subscribe in many ways, but I recommend using the Amazon account that you have, combining with our Amazon Pay button. Put that username in there, put that password in there, press it. Oh, Martin, Lord have mercy. Nah.
Oh, here we go.
What is it? Is that toasted goodness all over your body? Where we're going to be at the Park West, and that's going to be on June 30th. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8 p.m., and that's going to be a full night of live comedy, games, music, prizes, and one big old party at the end of the night. Avengers has, I think, smashed about 235 records or something, which means that everybody has seen this movie. I believe that it's even having the same effect as Black Panther, you know, because I know it brought some old black people in there thinking that Black Panther was in it, that this is going to be Black Panther 2.
I mean, he's in it. You just got to wait an hour.
You just got to wait an hour. And they're old. They're going to sleep for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, Black Panther here yet? No, Mom, I'm going back to sleep. But there's people out there who are watching the movie just curious about it. What is this phenomenon that's happening? This is Avengers. I got to find out. Everybody's talking about it. Needless to say, everybody has seen it, so it's safe to go in and have a spoiler discussion about it. And now, before I start, anything that y'all have pressing that you want to bring up?
Shout out to Captain America having a trap phone and an Atlanta number. I saw that 678 pop up, and I was so excited. I was like, hey!
I think he was calling you.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
I think he was saying, Korey, where can I find some weed?
That goddamn burner. I was like, all right, I see you.
Everybody out there was taking bets. Everybody was out there taking bets. Everybody had videos. Everybody had lists. And they were all talking about which Avenger is going to die. And then really when they said which Avenger, they were talking about 3, but really 2. And that's Tony Stark and your boy right here, Captain America. No, really, where can I get some weed? But nah, man, and Marvel just sitting back the whole time.
I know.
You motherfuckers just don't know. Y'all don't know shit.
We were not prepared.
They straight up
they were
lied to
laughing.
us. Oh yeah, they just laughing the whole time. We were all guilty of that.
Hey, Chris, send out another one of those tweets about how you can't wait to quit this job.
Yeah, exactly, man. Made up fake footage for the trailer and everything. Yeah. And you know, when it came down to it, man, a lot of people, more than we expected, died. And the funny thing about it, they pulled old okey-doke on everybody. They said, while y'all talking about the Avengers, which Avenger gonna die, unless Hawkeye is off screen turning to ash smoke or something, then none of the original Avengers died. So how do you feel about the deaths in the movie? I mean, just anything you want to say, the emotional impact, anything you want to elaborate on?
I mean, for the ones that faded away, it was like, all right, but obviously the one that hit hard for everybody was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's when everybody was like, and I went and saw the second time too this Saturday, and that whole theater just busted out crying because, oh no, he's gone forever.
Oh yeah.
I feel bad, Mr. Stark. I don't want to go. You're like, holy shit.
Well, there was so much that went on with that, in as much as him dying. Like, he was the only one who really pleaded for his life.
Yeah.
You realize he's a kid, and then at the very last moment, the last thing he's worried about is disappointing his surrogate father, which we had a whole movie of that. So it was all those things wrapped in one.
It was so funny because some people just old and just like, okay, whatever, man. Because even what's his name? Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury. Nick Fury done skirted death so much he wasn't even surprised.
Right. He's like,
been shot like 17 times, blown up.
Yeah, he's like, motherfucker. You know, he's like, well, shit. You know,
ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, we've already seen you die once.
These deaths didn't really mean a whole lot to me. And when I say that, I don't mean that in a bad way. Just hear me. I just it didn't have the emotional impact because, for one, most of these people that went out are coming back.
Well, at the moment when T'Challa goes out,
Oh,
I was like, okay, these are definitely not going to be permanent.
Oh yeah, you know, because I mean, some deaths were so obvious that they were made uneventful. Like people were mad that Black Panther didn't have a more dramatic death. And Marvel's like, this Negro made so much. I'm like, come on, y'all. You know, really, y'all. You know what? Let's quit playing. Let's not fool each other. This dude got a couple other movies coming back, you know, because he's made so much money.
Sure.
So you know, he just kind of faded quickly.
Yeah.
You know, he had that. I think you know they gave him. You can't see it too well because I found that one picture where he's like, fuck. You know, that's about it. That's all he had. Just a look, and he was gone. Because we know he's coming back. One of the stones has to do with time. Time travel for me is just something where I'll enjoy it. You know, I love time travel movies and stories, but the stakes are lowered with time travel.
Well, it's an out.
Yeah.
But that's the thing from even having like within comics. Like in comics, characters die all the time, and nobody stays dead. And especially if you have something, an artifact around like an Infinity Gauntlet or even a cosmic cube. There's always an out. And you know, and one way it's you know, it's watching it and going like, okay, I know that this will, you know, this has a chance to be reversed. I can see an avenue. But there's also just living within the film through the eyes of the other characters who don't know.
Right.
Well,
And there's also a question of, okay, when it gets reversed, or you know, who actually is going to come back?
Well, that's the thing. You know, they did a big teaser for anybody who's a comic book fan, and if anybody watched not the teaser but the stinger, you know, they had that stinger where everybody knows who they were teasing, which is Captain Marvel, who's going to be played by Brie Larson, which is going to be the big movie that's coming out right before the second part of Avengers comes out. And if anybody knows that character, that's a character who has alien, almost cosmic abilities, which, okay, she's going to come back and somehow reverse time.
Yeah, we were. I was talking about it right after we watched the movie, and we were saying like he had a beeper, obviously an old piece of technology
from the '90s. Yeah, so that movie's taking place in the '90s.
Yeah, so he was like, all right, either this is going to be he's sending her a message in a faraway spot, and she got to go grab the gauntlet and come back, or they're going to try to do a Days of Future Past thing where it's going to be like, all right, I'm going to go back and make sure we change these events so all this stuff doesn't happen.
Yeah. So
because she doesn't have the power to reverse time.
No.
Or she just might whoop Thanos' ass so bad that she takes the gauntlet and reverses it. Or there's some other theories about how that could be brought back, but I'm surely time travel is going to be a factor there, unless all these people were sent to another dimension and then they're brought back from that dimension.
I mean, in the comics, they do get trapped in the gem, or some people get
the spirit world, the soul world.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just for me that for other people that's fine, and you have a great angle of looking at it. Like all these other characters have a reaction where they don't know, but as an audience member, I know. And look, that's fine. I'm not, like I said, I'm not complaining about it because, you know, I thought about how I felt about things, and I'm like, you know, when I know that something's happening, it has an impact on me. Loki is somebody, I told everybody, I was like, y'all need to quit kissing this dude's ass. I hate this dude. I hate this guy. You know, all of a sudden they trying to make him a hero. I said, no, he's tried to commit genocide. He's backstabbed friends and family. He's murdered people in gruesome ways. And y'all just talk about, oh, but he's so cute. You know, fuck Loki, man.
Yeah, well, that cuteness ran out.
My cuteness ran out. But I tell you what, when Thanos choked his ass out, I was like, that leaves an impact on me because that's the one character that's like, he ain't coming back from this.
Well, that's the thing, because you think, okay, who's coming back? And that's anybody who's coming back is somebody who evaporated into dust. But all the people who died before that,
Heimdall, Loki,
and what had an impact right away to me was like having just recently watched Thor Ragnarok, and the Asgardians who had just escaped death, and they're on a refugee ship trying to find a home. It opens with pretty much all of them dead.
With all of them dead. But you know, looking at Loki, like I said, man, not knowing that character ain't coming back, I was just like, I kind of, for a second, I was like, you know, just for a second, I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Because I really believe that is something that he's not coming back from. Thanos choked his ass out so hard, he choked his future.
You know? I like that he's like, he ain't coming back. Thanos was like, this ain't no hologram.
No, that motherfucker had veins and shit coming up in his face. You know, his eyes were bulging. I was like, no, that's done, man.
Because Thanos, it seemed like he went out of his way, not went out of his way, but he wasn't killing people and taking joy in it. He's just like, listen, if I kill you, it's because you're in the way of what I got to do. Otherwise, I'm gonna just knock you out and just go about my business. But with Loki, he kind of enjoyed that because he had a smile when he said, "You have your undying loyalty, huh?" That's a bad choice of words.
Like, well, you remember 6 years ago, I sent you to do this job and you fucked it off.
First of all, you a fuck up. You had one job to conquer Earth.
You've been around how many Infinity Stones and I ain't got one because of you yet?
And then he was also like, "And bitch, you drew a blade on me."
That too.
He's like, "Oh, you thought you gonna cut me?
Oh, you a hero, huh?"
Yeah.
Right.
But I tell you, the reason why I'm not sour about the deaths. It might not have an emotional impact, but it certainly did help the story. I mean, because some of the things that they did here, they kept. It was more character building and it was more story building with the deaths. It added something.
Well,
to the narrative.
Yeah, real stakes.
Yeah. I mean, because if you listen, and the way they even they crafted these deaths well to where they were throwbacks to a joke, so that they have more meanings here. Like we saw Peter Parker hugging Tony Stark. Like, I don't want to go, and Tony picked his ass up and tried to keep him there. He said, I'm gonna hold on to this boy as long as I can and try to keep him in my presence. That's kind of a throwback to Spider-Man: Homecoming.
So when's our next retreat?
What, next mission? We'll call you. All right?
That's not a hug. I'm just grabbing the door for you. We're not there yet. All right, kid. Good luck out there.
Made me think back to the time he was denied that hug. And now Tony feel like an asshole about it. Yeah. I mean, and really, I think for people who really think that way, it's like, yeah, how shitty do you feel now, Tony Stark?
Sure. Because even when he's on the ship, there's a moment when he's like, well, my being here is kind of your fault. He was like, no, don't you put that shit on me.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel any guilt about you.
Yeah. And what happened was what everybody was saying. Tony, you're going to get this boy killed.
Yeah.
and it finally happened. Here's another character, though, I think is not gone, who had a really impactful death in the movie, and that's Gamora. I don't buy that she is dead one bit. For one, Star-Lord was just about to tap that ass, and they really need that to stay there for a moment,
Yeah.
Honestly, it felt like they kind of pushed it to make the stakes higher in this movie.
Yeah.
Because we know because of Gamora's death, Star-Lord was the one that was the biggest dumbass in the movie.
He fucked everything up.
He's the MVP of stupidity.
Yeah.
In this whole thing right here. And but so I think they rushed it along right here. So they need to keep that going. But they also have Guardians. They got a sequel coming out.
Yeah, Volume 3.
Volume 3, man, and she's so much a big part of that. She's so much a part of the team. There's just no way I think they're just gonna take her out just yet. So I think that she's not gone yet, man. I think that she'll be back. How do you feel about that, though?
I don't know, man, because they have that whole scene at the end where they show her as a kid in that kind of soul gem world that Thanos is in. So it's like, all right, maybe she's one of the people that's trapped inside of it. So she might end up coming back and being like, oh, helping them defeat Thanos the second time when he comes back and they have to do the gauntlet thing again.
But for this particular movie, we were talking about her death, and I think that it's they got that going well. Like that whole thing about how much he loves her.
Yeah,
and that whole deal with him having to, and I think what happened with this is that it made Thanos a better character. It made Gamora a better character.
Yeah, because one of the biggest things was how she, kills him, but then falls out and cries about it. Like as much as she hated him, she still loved him on some level.
She was on her way to being a stripper. She had some dad issues, man. Even when she was around, you're like, I hate you, and Thanos like, girl, you love me. And I was, and you hit it right there, man. I think it made Thanos, and we're gonna talk about Thanos in a little bit, but I think the reason why Thanos is such an appealing character to everybody is because he was willing to sacrifice his own. Like you said, I love when Gamora told him, she's like, oh, you know what? Just because now you ain't gonna do nothing. You had to put the sacrifice up because I love that scene where she thought like, hey, you were ready to sacrifice everybody in the universe, and now when it comes to sacrificing your shit, you ain't shit. And he
you love nothing.
Okay.
You thought you was gonna win, and the universe said no.
I love them stones, bitch. I know it.
Well, you know what though? I feel like of everything that's happened in the MCU, I feel like that was probably one of the most heartbreaking things and one of the most kind of tragic things that's happening here. Yeah. Because it's easy for somebody. I'm not gonna say easy, but it's a lot more by the numbers for somebody to kind of sacrifice themselves. We've seen Tony try to sacrifice himself multiple times. Yeah. But to sacrifice like something that you love like that, it's like, whoa.
And it hurt.
Yeah, he was into it.
He closed his eye like when she told him, you ain't shit. And he's like, girl, you don't know me.
Tears.
He's like, I'm all about this cause right here.
Yeah.
You know, and I love when he was pulling her too, because she all of a sudden she was like that little kid about to get that whooping. Yeah. Oh, Daddy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Daddy. No. I ain't gonna talk no more shit, Daddy. No.
That was dope, man. Red Skull was like, them tears ain't for him.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Somebody sent an essay talking about how they said Korey makes me sad. And
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they said, I'm just disappointed that you would find so much empathy for a dictator.
Oh, I read that essay also.
Did you read? Yeah. And I was like, man, you know, it was a joke right here. But he went through this whole thing about how he's a psychopath, how dictators think like him, how they think they're doing the right thing, and yet they're not looking at any other option except the one that satisfies their bloodlust the most. It's not about the real goal. It's just people who like causing destruction.
I think the biggest difference between that and like a dictator is like a dictator is going to go out for his own personal gain. Like this dude was saying, I'm trying to do this for everybody. Like I don't like he never said in even in the trailers he was saying I'm not going to enjoy this, but you know I have to do it. Yeah. So it's kind of unfortunate that like people are seeing it. I saw somebody else posted something. It's like even if you kill half the people on Earth, like we'll still have the same problems because capitalism exists. I was like, I'm pretty sure this was like a universe thing, not an Earth thing. So
that was the same essay. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah. You know, and that's that was the thing. And in another way, they kind of have a point. I mean,
well, no, there's a big point to that because even in the random killing of half the people, you're going to lose people that you would need to build this better society that's going to work.
But that was the other thing. Thanos said, hey, man, you know, my whole thing with him, I was saying, look, I understand. I was kind of joking when I said, you know, Thanos is right. I'm joking kind of about
I wasn't,
that.
You know, I'm a millennial.
But yeah.
Whatever side I'm on, if I gotta die, student loans is out. And if not, jobs open up. I'm good either way. Let's go for it.
Socialism at its finest.
Let's do it. It's all random. I'm fine.
Yeah, man. No, you know what? But I got his point.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I got his point because he was ruthless, yet he was always reasonable. Marvel has done a great job. For all y'all saying Marvel got a villain problem, Marvel's done a great job at not only making deep, complicated villains, but making you feel for them. I hope the Avengers never have to fight Hitler. Because everybody's going to be going around with, Hitler was right.
I know, right?
Well, Hitler, he was really sympathetic, man. You know?
Well, yeah, man. Like they're going back and fixing what one of the biggest problems was having weak villains. Like everybody that we've had, I'll say in the past 4 movies, even Hela from Thor Ragnarok, it's like this isn't a power trip. It's like I was done wrong by these people, so I'm back to get my revenge.
Yeah. Even I would. Ego is not one of my favorite villains, but I like that he's just somebody who didn't think he was doing anything wrong. Yeah. What's the big deal? I gave your mom cancer, so what?
He's like, yo.
It's like I'm doing it to mice. What's the big deal?
Yeah. You know, it's somebody who's so powerful that these are little things that just don't seem like a big deal to him. I even kind of think, I find sort of a sadness in that you can't just find any kind of emotional joy in anything because you're so powerful.
Right.
With Thanos, that's what was going on with it. And I have to say, first of all, man, what y'all think about, let me ask you, what did you think about Josh Brolin?
Oh, he was great.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Yeah, I love how the whole time, he was so great that I didn't even see anything else but Josh Brolin.
Well, I think they originally, when Thanos appears in the other movies, he's not really modeled after Josh Brolin. And they probably didn't plan to do that, but he was just so good. It was like, why would we pass this up?
Yeah. And I almost think Thanos was not the same villain that they had in the beginning. Like he wasn't he was not as fleshed out as he is right now. And Josh Brolin is just such a great actor with this character. It's almost like they just took Josh Brolin, put a nutsack on his chin, and spray painted him purple.
That's why he looked like that.
Yeah,
did this to me.
What's so great about this movie is that this is Thanos' movie. You can actually watch this as a movie where Thanos is the hero and everybody else are villains.
Well, that's the thing, because you hear people say like, well, it's fine for being just half a movie. It's not a complete movie. I'm like, nah, it's a complete movie. It's just your heroes didn't win. This guy won.
No,
and watching it, it's his story. It's beginning, middle, and end.
It's his story, and he's not somebody that is driven by selfishness. Right. He's somebody that he actually says he's almost sympathetic. He's like, I saw some shit go down, and I don't want this to happen to you.
So I'm gonna kill half your squad.
I might have to kill your family, but I don't want this to happen to you. It's going to be better for everybody in the long run. And what I love about it is that this is really his movie, because they end all these movies. Iron Man will be back.
Right.
Spider-Man will be back. This one, fuck them. Thanos will be back.
Yeah. It was just darkness and sad music at the end.
Yeah. And they kept to the and I don't even know if it was sad. They actually even framed it to where, if you look at Thanos, it was a hero's ending. He said, I'm going to sit down, watch on a grassy hilltop, and watch this sunrise.
No, I mean, like, where usually you get that after credit stinger. Yeah. They just went to a dark screen with simple credits. And the Avengers theme, but played all sad and indie and emo.
then the title turning into dust. You're like, God damn. That was the thing, too, because, like, I know in this movie we're all supposed to be rooting for the heroes and the Avengers and everything. But, like, the second Thor hit him with the hammer, or the Stormbringer, the axe, I was like, oh, no, Thanos is dead. And then he was like, you should have got me again. I was like, ha, bitch.
Thanos. Yeah, man. It's
it's funny because I was just like, oh, they fooled us. They wrapped it up in one movie.
Well, you know what? I know, man.
You should have gone with the head.
They teleported out that blue butthole. Like, I'm
out. Did you say blue butthole?
Yeah, that's what it looked like. That little portal popped up.
Getting to some of these other characters, how did y'all feel about some of the other characters in the movie? Did you walk away liking characters more? Did you walk away disliking characters more in the film?
I don't think I mean, everybody played to who they are. As much as everybody's, I see people mad at Star-Lord, at Peter Quill, because at that moment where he totally snatched a victory, defeat from the jaws of victory, but it's just who he is.
When you know what though, I felt the same way until I went back and I saw it again, and it was like, all right, Doctor Strange knew, like, of all the things that are gonna happen, this has to happen for us having any kind of chance to come back and win.
What, 17 million?
14 million?
No, I think it was 17.
It was 14 million. 14.
Was it 14 million?
Yeah.
Okay, so and out of all that, only one.
Yeah. So it was like, all right, Star-Lord had to fuck this up for them so the end game could work out.
But even though that had to be, that doesn't make him any less.
Oh no, he's still an asshole.
Yeah,
I'm not forgiving his assholeness.
Yeah, no, it's like, because all he did throughout the whole movie was talk shit, just pop off these lame jokes and then ruin everything for everybody.
Yeah, like when they landed on Thanos, on Titan, and he just came in and started shooting. I was like, you see, these are like human people, right? Like, you could, like, ask him, what are you doing here before you try to kill them?
Yeah. See, that's the thing for me. Like, do I still like Peter Quill, Star-Lord? I mean, yeah, because I like the actor, but in his own element, okay, that's cute, that's funny. But when you get him with everybody else, you realize how he's the least effective.
He's the fuck up.
Yeah, that raccoon, that tree is better than him.
Yeah.
But his crew seems to know that because nobody respects his command.
No, they really don't. Tony Stark got a little more respect for him from this movie.
Yeah, he wasn't as jokey this time around.
He was jokey, and he came in putting his feet all over Doctor Strange's furniture and said,
you expect him to do that to some degree, but most of the time he's taken over to where you're like, man, would you go sit down somewhere?
Yeah,
and he wasn't like that this time.
Well, you see that, beneath all the swagger, this is a guy that really is ready to sacrifice himself.
Sure, but also,
and he cares.
But something they've carried from movie to movie, and it's always kind of been there, but it really comes to fruition now, is how shook up he was from the first Avengers. Him going into space with the aliens, and ever since then he's had PTSD, and he's like, what do we do? And you go back to Age of Ultron, I'd rewatch that, and where he's all like, what happens when they come back? And everybody's like, man, why are you even thinking about that? Just chill the fuck out.
That's a Sokovia Accord or whatever. That's why.
That's Civil War.
That's Civil War, but I'm saying
Sokovia is the country that was in.
Oh, no, I know that's what it is, but I'm saying even that's an extension of his feelings right there. Where he's like, I'm putting myself in here. Like, I need to control myself. We have to have our powers in check.
Yes, but with Age of Ultron, he was all about, what do we do when the aliens come back? I need to build a shield around the world. The world needs a suit of armor. I gotta focus on this. This is what I gotta work on. And everybody's like, man, you fucking everything up. Leave that alone. Stop it. We ain't thinking about that. And then you look at this, it's like, well, he was right.
Yeah.
He's the only one thinking ahead.
Yeah, he really is. He really was up until where you know.
And so when Thanos shows up, he's always like, "See, this is the shit I've been talking about."
Yeah. I will tell you that Doctor Strange. That's one of the movies I'm not crazy about. I like it, but it's not on my list of top Marvel movies. But that character's, I think, like he's probably the most badass of everybody, man.
It's funny. I thought the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought, man, as powerful as he's supposed to be, he's kind of getting his ass handed to him over and over.
But that's physical power. You know, I'm thinking like the power just to see, the power of foresight. You know, to see all
with the time stone?
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, with that, I'm like, man, you know, this is a guy that doesn't need to fight. You know, he'll sit back and do that if he has to, but he seems like when he went out, even when he took him on, when he knew this would take him out, he's like, this was the only way. He knows something that nobody else knows. And nobody else knows. And that's one of the things that really is driving people like, okay, what does Doctor Strange know?
That he's not going to sit down and explain to you. Listen, just listen. Just trust me.
If I told you, your head would melt.
Well, one thing I thought was cool was how with the Doctor Strange movie, a lot of complaints was like, well, this is just him. He's just another Iron Man. And then when you see the two of them together, you see like, they can't stand each other.
One of the people that I like, because I just, like I said, man, I just like that they just gave up and said, all right, this is who he is. He's just funny. Thor.
Oh
yeah. Thor is
that was welcome that he is the same character he was from Ragnarok.
It was.
That wasn't like, well, let's go back to the old Dark World days.
No, I was. Where was I? I was on the plane back from Florida. They showed the Avengers and they showed Thor, the first one. And even then, you know, the best parts of that movie are when he's doing the fish out of water thing on Earth. When he cracks a beer mug.
The coffee.
There you go. More or whatever you said. You know, when he was being funny.
Yeah.
I just in reflection, it's like, man, that's when it works. And then I think now it works.
Yeah.
Speaking of the humor, how did the humor work for you?
I liked it. I mean, it was really needed, especially during all the seriousness that was going on in this movie. Some of it was a little bit too much. A lot of Peter's pop culture references, I felt like the same way Tony did. Is like, yo, man, cut that shit out. Like, we're about to die, and you out there referencing aliens. But yeah, I liked a lot of the humors, and I think it was needed for the serious tone of the movie. If they would have just kept it straight serious, it probably would have been too depressing of a film, and it would have felt much longer than what it was.
Well, having funny moments, especially early on, it cuts deeper when it gets very serious and people die because you're like, well, man, I was just laughing a minute ago and I like these guys. And I didn't realize how serious he's going to be.
Looking at this, you know, we had a point where a lot of people who were split off from the group went to Wakanda. And then, you know, you had like Rocket Raccoon hanging out with Bucky, which, by the way, you want to talk about humor. I love when Rocket Raccoon, like, how much you want for the arm, man?
No, you asked for the gun first. How much is that gun? Yeah. It's not for sale. How about that arm?
Yeah, that arm, though.
I'm going to get that arm.
Getting tired jacking off with my paws. But, you know, I like that exchange. But did it seem out of place for you? Now, I know you gave it better than sex, so probably not. But did it seem just a little jarring to have Rocket Raccoon and Groot being mixed in with some of these other people?
No.
That didn't bother me. We've already seen Thor come in and mix it up with these people, so it doesn't really shake up much things for me.
You know what? I just wanted to say from the moment I saw this movie.
What's up?
Hulk is a bitch.
Man, okay. No.
I mean, if you got your ass kicked like you did at the beginning. No, I'm not. He got punched in the throat. Oh, no.
I'm not going to even do Hulk like that. But Hulk has sense. And I like the way they even did it, too, because they tried to make us think that They put those trailers out there, and they had the audience thinking that Hulk was gonna be kicking all kind of ass. He's like, yeah, y'all done fucked up now.
You look at it now, you can tell he's not really there. That might as well be a hologram.
It's a Doctor Strange creation. He's here.
But man, no, Hulk took that street ass whipping from Thanos.
Yo, I was so happy that was the first fight to kick out this movie. It's like, oh, Hope at direct shop. Oh, the Avengers are fucked.
And that was a great way to kick it off because when that happens, you like, oh shit, they're not gonna win this.
No, because that's the way he set it up. I love that. No, because Hulk went through 10 movies, well, at least the ones he was in, just whooping everybody.
Oh yeah.
Thinking he's gonna beat everybody down.
As long as he's winning, he's like, I'm the baddest, I'm the strongest. I mean, he got his ass whooped. I'm not going back out there no more.
Yeah, Thanos put that street beat down on his ass. I mean, it was some street shit. He went for them ribs.
Yeah.
And Hulk was like, whoa, shit, I feel that. and you know what? And that's when
I was waiting for somebody to scream out World Star. Like, bow, 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 throat. I was like, oh shit.
Hulk went in that house and went come back. Nah. Bruce Banner was trying to say, Hulk, what's wrong? And he's like, man, you weren't there for that ass whooping. Ain't nobody ever done that.
Nah.
No, that's when Thanos was truly Debo in that moment.
Yeah. Thanos knocked him the fuck out.
And Ebony Maw was like, yo, should we help Thanos? Like, chill, he got this.
Yeah.
Let him have his fun.
Yeah. You know, I love that. There was for all of us saw the movie, like he tried to bring him out and Hulk yelled out, no! And it wasn't like no, it wasn't like that Caesar no from the planet. They're like, right. No, it wasn't the fire. That shit was like, no! People are talking about Scarlet Witch and
her power to make her accent disappear.
Yeah, what happened, man?
I don't know. It kept going in and out within scenes.
She got the Rosetta Stone. but some people just not getting that. Like, oh, okay. But no, the Vision and Scarlet Witch. You know, a lot of people are saying that, and I really do believe that it's such a fast-paced movie that to have that romantic plot line in there, some people just not liking that for that reason.
Yeah,
it's a slower plot line. But I think, just like with Gamora, I think it's important. Vision is another part of sacrifice here. Because that's what this movie is. That's what we said. The theme of this movie is about sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that this storyline between Vision and Scarlet Witch and Wanda, whatever you want to call it, like it helped her be like a better character too. She's just been somebody that nobody really knows that well.
Yeah.
You know, her existence depends on the team and on the Vision, I think, you know.
Well, it was a chance to showcase how powerful she was and to see him as more human than machine. So it meant something for him to lose that stone.
Yeah, and no, that's why I liked it. I know a lot of people are having a problem with that, but I didn't mind it. And like I said, I think it made her a better character too. Something I wasn't crazy about. And I know that the movie is long, so I'm not trying to nitpick anything, but I do feel like the Black Order, besides Ebony Maw, the Black Order I thought was just something that needed a little more characterization. I don't think you had to spend a whole lot of time with them because I know you didn't have a lot of time in the movie.
Right.
But I thought just maybe a moment where when their deaths, Thanos honored them, maybe some exchange between Thanos or some of the characters themselves that just gave them more characterization. Because I thought they, as badass as they are in the comics, because I don't know who they are, but in the comics I hear like there's all this backstory with them, and we don't get it here. And they just become henchmen, as I said in the review. And I thought, they were killed way easier than I thought they would be killed too.
Really? Because in the comics, they aren't as powerful as they are in this movie.
Really?
They amped up their power the way, the four of them were, if together, just the four of them were enough to take on the Avengers.
Well, I know like two of them are married. One is like, the Black Dwarf. He's extremely strong, whatever. But I just thought like, wow, it would have been nice to have some of that story in the movie,
I guess.
just a little bit.
I don't know. With so much going on, I feel like that would have gotten away.
I just kind of rationalized it like Thanos. They're all Thanos' adopted kids, and we see that he has a favorite with Gamora. Like he even treated Nebula like shit when he was torturing her and going through all this other stuff. So like I feel like they were even lower than Nebula. So it was like, all right, I just kind of I understand why you did it this way.
That Wakanda promotion. They had that TV spot out there where they were just,
Hey,
The
way it was meant to be seen. In IMAX.
Today we don't fight for one life. We fight for all of them.
They making it seem like he's in the whole movie.
Yeah.
They knew what they was doing.
Black Panther 2.
Yeah. And when you get there, now...
Hey, it worked.
No, it did, but some people are vocally disappointed that Black Panther Wakanda wasn't more in the movie. Some people aren't. What's your position on it?
I understand, especially because of this advertisement, that some people would be like, yo, I wish Black Panther was in here more. But I mean, they really didn't lie because they showed that scene. They showed a couple more things with him in there. And I think the biggest thing is that we saw where the budget for their CGI went. Like they took all the good people off of Black Panther. Like you go work on Infinity War.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I can understand somebody being upset. They kind of feel like they were cheated out of another Black Panther movie. But I wouldn't say that they would have a valid complaint to say that they were lied to.
Yeah.
Especially when the movie is titled Avengers Infinity War.
Like he's not even an Avenger yet.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. But then again, Guardians aren't Avengers, you know, and they get a lot of time in the movie, you know. Thanos ain't an Avenger.
I don't think Marvel was counting on Black Panther being as successful
That's exactly
as it was.
Yeah. That was my thing. I had no problem with the amount of Wakanda in the movie, but you can clearly see that they didn't think Black Panther was going to be that big.
Well, let's be honest. Nobody did.
I did.
We were all hyped, but nobody thought it was going to be what?
I believe, Martin, from the very beginning. Some of their villains, like, they're so empathetic that they you know, they try to steer them into being good. What if they tried to take Thanos, and some people are actually saying Thanos might be the one to go in and reverse this whole thing himself. Maybe his love for Gamora finally gets to him, makes him do it.
I wouldn't see that, but someone else could convince him in some other way that, like, hey, you did all this and it didn't really change anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because, you know, the guy that sent me the essay, he's like, listen, you know, when you get right down to it, maybe you saw something that worked one time, but it doesn't work. It's not anything that could work for everything.
Right. That is the thing. It's like, yeah, man, I know your world was fucked up and that's how you see it, but that doesn't apply to everywhere.
Yeah.
And these other places, okay, maybe they will go into disrepair because there's too many people, but it's not to say that they won't, from that, come back stronger. Something I didn't like from Black Panther that has carried over to this.
What's that?
Where the suits are nanotechnology.
Yeah.
So it's just like a magic. Because something I loved from the very first Iron Man was how they really meticulously showed how the armor was put together and put on him. It's a lot of what sold that because it made it grounded it and made it realistic. And now it's like people wear their street clothes, even bulky stuff and hoodies, and then these skin tight armors form all over them. And I'm like,
I mean, the next step for Tony is what, the bleeding edge one, right? Where it's in his bones and it comes out through his skin. Is like, if they're gonna go for that, why not?
No, I'm with you, man. I think.
I mean, at least if they're wearing like a skin tight outfit, I would see, but just wearing baggy street clothes and then suddenly this thing forms.
I'm completely. What's that?
The only people that did that were what, Black Panther and Tony, right?
And Tony, but,
and Spider-Man also.
Yep. And
that's right.
Yeah. Listen, for one thing, I agree with you completely, man. The effect just looks bad.
Yeah.
And it looks too easy. You know,
Yeah.
it's just, and there was, you know, when they do that, like when Spider-Man had the suit and then the spider legs came out of, they're just looking like more like action figures now instead of like actual costumes for characters. You know, I mean, it's just, I don't like the look of it. You want to get nitpicky. All right, I didn't want to do it.
I ain't say I want to, but okay.
But since you're gonna pick
since I opened that door.
Yeah, since you're gonna pick some nits, you know, let me go in with a little something here. Now, I mean,
you've been waiting for somebody to say something.
You open the floodgates.
I have. I didn't want to do it, but since you got a
Thanos, you can still not do it.
You got a basket of nits over there, Martin. Let me pick a few right here.
Nitpicking glove.
This whole thing with everybody speaking English, man.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, I gave people explained it for me with Guardians of the Galaxy. They said, listen, they have
Peter's got a thing in his
Yeah,
neck.
you can see it in there. But everybody that shows up, the Black Order, Thanos, everybody, you know, I would like to know why everybody's speaking English. I can understand even when Thanos is on Gamora's planet, like maybe they're speaking their language, our alien language, and they just need to speak English for us, you know. I get it. But that whole thing with the, you know, can you give me an explanation, or is that something we just have to just kind of
No, that's one of those you just have to go with it unless you want to read subtitles. I mean, hey, look, if that's a thing that bothers you, there's nothing I can say. It's just there.
It really does bother me, but I know it doesn't bother people. I'm not out there, you know, I'm not protesting against the film.
It's just so, it's ubiquitous. That's so everywhere. I don't even notice it anymore.
Yo, when you're reading a comic book, you're not mad when the bubbles pop up in English.
I was that kid that always said,
"Oh bullshit!" No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
This man.
I was.
Everybody buying that.
I'll take it. I don't care. I don't care. That's me. I was that little kid. Every time I watched Star Trek or you know, I read comics. Unless they had that word balloon where it was angled really weird and it showed you they were talking an alien language, but it was perfectly round. You know, I was like,
yo,
okay.
you playing God of War right now. Buddy is Greek, and he went to a spot where they should be speaking Nordic stuff, but they have no problem communicating.
I'm in my mind, since that takes place all over there, they're speaking their native language. We just need to be spoken English for us.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay,
don't y'all act like this ain't legit. There are others out there like me.
I dig it.
Let's start a support group.
I think if this was a support group,
yeah, because you see the abuse I'm getting, man.
We ain't going that far.
You see right now.
Start that Facebook group up and we'll see what happens. We'll go from there.
But the last part was just, you know, again, just a CG mashup. CG brawl. You know, they were fighting all these characters that were safe characters. They all looked alike, so it was easy. It was easy to bring them together and copy and paste, you know, the same character.
Yeah.
I'll totally give you that.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like that one part. A lot of movies end like that. We see the same thing where we're fighting these, you know, these generic characters
Sure.
that came out of nowhere. So that I take it out points off of that, because as much as we say this hasn't been done before, that has been done ad nauseum.
Yeah, it's been done in all the Avengers movies.
It's been done. Man, we just saw it done in. And people criticize Justice League for that, but it was done in Justice League.
It's done in Thor Ragnarok.
There you go. Yeah, you know, it's and with me, I see like the technical part of it, to where it's like, and I'm trying to find a part here where we see that.
I thought you were gonna say it because that Wilhelm scream that you hate in every movie.
I'm beyond that. I don't think you should use it, but you know, I'm beyond that. But yeah, you know, we see this done all the time, where, you know, from a technical side, it's a massive thing that can be done. For one, you can do it in a PG-13 movie and not kill actual things that you care for.
Right.
You can have them bleed alien blood.
Yeah.
And plus, like I said, they're the same model that you can use over and over again. They were fierce and they look cool, but yeah, you know, nothing big. So there you go, people. That's our spoiler discussion, and I'm sure if you have anything to add to it, put it down here in the comments, whether that's on YouTube or our channel or wherever you see this, or listen to it. Add more to the discussion. I'm sure that we weren't able to cover